When I first saw this handheld online, a few things went through my head. Well, most of them like, whatever, just get it. Most common was, don't I have enough handhelds already? And just like my little ones tells me when they want something, but I don't have this one. And just like this handheld, they win. But each handheld I experience give me a different unique feel that keeps me visiting. And this one is no different than my other handhelds I love. For example, the Mayo A30. It's like the size of a dumb phone, which I love. And that's just my opinion, especially after I enjoyed sprucing it up. And I got a comment of why I compared it to a dumb phone, which the person added they never heard of a dumb phone. Well, if you just look it up. And myself, I first found out about dumb phones just a couple of years ago. It's actually fascinating how much people still have love for them because it helps them get away from the stress of social media, or they're just not into the extra stuff that the smartphone has. They just, they want to keep it basic. Just like how big nostalgia is compared to new games and consoles. Some people just don't want to deal with all that. They want to go back to the basics like Pac-Man and Tetris, or even Mario, Sonic, or basic Zelda or Pokemon. A part of life just to get away. I guess I love to just have fun comparing it to some of my old devices I kept over the years, giving them a chance to shine with you all. So when I got the Powkiddy V10, I'm calling it my little Game Boy Blackberry that will get my classic handheld gaming tasks or fix done. Let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. Let me put this thing down and pick up my Blackberry. Look at this. This just, I don't know. I don't have that original wide one that from back in the day, but it still feels like holding a Blackberry. I guess that's the reason why I grabbed it. That's just me. Yes, it don't have the pad and all that kind of stuff, but you know what? I love it. I love it. And one thing and I was really happy that it had ArcOS. This is like really super good. So I'm able to kind of switch some things out, and I'm probably going to change out everything because I'm not going to dig into this. Wait a minute. This thing has, oh my goodness, this has 3DO. Now I'm tripping. I mean, I see some handhelds, but this has 3DO. I am like, wow. I'm pretty shocked because not too many handhelds I have ran across has 3DO on it. I have had consoles that had them, but not the handheld. This one is kind of skippy, but does not necessarily mean that it doesn't have potential for maybe other handheld. I mean, I already know what I'm going to be doing with this one. This just goes to show you that my handheld task has to be done, and I have to get down because games like this, in some cases I need to keep, and in other cases I need to make this handheld even more awesome than what it is. Task. Pull out my PDA or my Blackberry, and I'm gonna get down. I got all my games, got all these games right here, and built it on this SD card. I got my SD card right here, 128 gigs. I'll leave links in the description in case you probably want to pick you up one. I'm gonna quit here and turn off this system, shut it down right here. Take this SD card out so I can show you that that's the original one right there. Pop that 128 up in there, and then now I'm gonna head to the computer. I'm gonna be using GUI format. That's what I use. You can use any others if there's other ideas. And I'm gonna make this 128 to a 32, a FAT32. I always like to format all my cards no matter what. Even if it's brand new, I format them. So that's just what I do. So that's to show you that this is FAT32. Now remember, this is not a tutorial. You can just follow along what I'm doing, but this is not a tutorial. This is just me setting this whole thing up. I went to ArcOS Wiki, and I'm just gonna scroll down and look for a download link that's gonna go close to what I'm using. These right here, which I see that V10 right there. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and download them. And you see like two links right here, like the G drive, which is Google, and the Mega. I'm probably going to use the G drive. Those are pretty cool. The Mega probably work too. I don't think there's going to be nothing wrong with whichever one you want to use, but that's what I'm going to do. Download something crazy. And now that I got that, I'm going to go ahead and unzip it. And I'm gonna create his own folder too. That's what I'm pretty much gonna do. Let's look up in there. We got that image file right here. I'm gonna use Etcher. Etcher is what I love. Set my whole thing up and bow. This looks like it's a big card, but it does not necessarily mean that I'm not gonna use all the room. Well, I probably not. I'm gonna flash it. And with the power of editing, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this. Now this is done, I'm gonna pop my SD card back up in here and let it first do its first little initial setup. And I'm quite sure that there's other OS, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, or firmware. I don't care. I don't care what it is. It's whatever's back in that's going to work for it. I mean, I know y'all know there's different type of definitions. This is just what I do. I really don't really think about it like too hardcore, but hey, at least it's working and we're good to go. This right here, this is my old dongle that I got from one of my Ambernick handheld that came in there. You know, it's kind of faded, so it's got to be one of my original handhelds I had like years ago. I forgot which one it was, but it came with this one. I have this, and right here I had a couple of these that goes to the OTG port, but this is one of my new ones right here. So I'm gonna leave a link to description for one of these. They're really good, and they're really good if you want to. I had this extra one too, just in case it doesn't work, because I don't know. But this one works for me all the time. So I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna plug this up in there, and that way I can have Wi-Fi in here. And I was just doing that while this thing's set up. Now we're all set up. Got my 64 right there, so you can see that. So yeah, so I'm gonna take that 64 gig right here, and I'm gonna pop this in here because I'm gonna take some stuff, because this is what you're supposed to. You should do that. If you can't get games, this is a great way to do it. So I'm just gonna create a folder on my desktop, and I'm gonna take like this 3DO game right here, keep it in my collection. So let's get it. Or let's keep it. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna drag it over in here and just save these games. And it has so many other games too. And you want to get your fresh BIOS. And just in case you can't find BIOS files, this is like the best way to do it. Like for real. Like just copy the BIOS right over to wherever you want to save your stuff at, and you're good to go. Look at that. All these good ones. And it's got the PlayStation stuff up in there and everything. All the stuff that you possibly need. And of course you want to get arcade. Of course. Arcade is a lot of files, so of course you want to get that. While I'm doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and like mess with some options here. Just like I said, this is not a tutorial. You can follow along what I'm doing. And first I'm gonna get this internet going out. So I'm gonna pop this into the OTG port right there. Should no dust. Now look at that. Light is on and it's ready to go. Okay. And I'm gonna go to the options. See, doing this is like so easy. Enable remote services. Don't forget that. So make sure you enable that, okay? Then I'm gonna go to Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna set my network up, okay, real fast, okay? And as you can see, you see the Wi-Fi all set up there. So I'm just gonna push the update. It need an update because I guess this is the latest one. So I'm gonna go to RetroArch right here, and I'm gonna mess around with tamper with some settings here. Okay, this is just what I'm doing. This is just me. I'm trying to make this thing just simple as possible. This is just the way I want. So now you got the internet plugged up. You pretty much can download cores if you wanted to, but you can do the online updater, update some things. You can mess around with this stuff anything you want to do some changes and stuff. With me, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go down to hotkeys because I want to change some stuff in game. Okay, there are settings that you can do in game to set your thing up to make it more functional for you. And I'm going to, because I want to be able to, when I need to get to my menu, I rather press start and select. These are just changes that I'm doing. You can follow what I'm doing. It's up to you. It's your choice. This just makes it easier for me. And I'm explaining from in-game and outside or the main menu. There's a lot of things I just don't need right here. So you press Y, care about a lot of stuff I just don't care about. I mean, if you do, that's your choice. And so I wanted to make sure that the hotkey is the right button. So you just press and hold whatever button that you want to make the hotkey. Like your save states, I made my save state using the R1 and L1. That's just me. Basically, L1 is load and the R1 is save. That's just how I got mine. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through some other settings. I don't need pause. I don't need take screenshot. I don't need that. Is there anything else? Let's see. And then confirm on quit. I don't want to get an extra menu about confirming to quit, so I turn that off. So saving, and this is a choice if you want to. You can go down to auto save state, auto load state. That's on you if you want to change those two. Me, I don't really care about that. So configuration up on quit. So we're gonna make sure that any changes that I do that I forget to save, it's gonna save. So configuration file, we're going to go ahead and save that. Then I'm going to quit so I can go back to the menu. Now, whatever we do here, you got to do the same thing on RetroArch 32. You got to do the same thing, but I'm not going to go through that. I already did it. I just want to explain to you really fast about the button features, okay? The plus button is for your main, that's your main hotkey for the outside. So if you go up and down using the T-pad, it's going to brighten it or dim it, okay? If you go left to right, while pushing the plus button on the T-pad, you will be able to mess with the volume. Okay, so that way you can see. I just wanted to show you that real fast. Okay, so if you in game, see how I set my button. Now, if I want to save or load, I just press the minus, and then I'm just gonna load it. You see, and then the other side to save. So I just wanted to show you that. So if I press the plus and up or down button, that's my volume. That's how I set mine. You can set yours the way you want to. Then if I press the minus button and start, then I goes back to the main menu. See that? And then like, what if I wanted to use the RetroArch menu? I just push start and select, just like I said. See how simple that is? That's just me. It's just simple stuff. For right now, I'm gonna shut down this thing because I'm going to need the card again. And we're gonna go back to the computer because now we have a new file system set up with our new SD card, and we need to load up those BIOS. Load up them BIOS. Look at the BIOS that's already set up in there. There wasn't hardly none in there, but with the power of taking all the other stuff from the other SD card, you see, I'm taking those same BIOS and putting it on this new SD card. And I have BIOS. I can like hook up like 4 or 5 handhelds if it doesn't come with a card. I mean, that's what's cool and awesome. And some of from the old card, you have basically ROMs up in there, and you can select some games that you want or don't want. You can kind of tamper with that if you want to. Now that I got that set up, I set up some basic consoles. Atari 5200, 7800. It just the arcade, of course, arcade, which is, you know, I don't have box art. Well, I'm gonna need box art. And also I want to show you about the themes. Hold up, let me get to that too. Your themes is a different story. I can't download the themes, but I'm gonna get that from the computer. And I just wanted to show you that there's a few of them that's already set up in here. So as you can see, you can just keep it simple. And if you want to just keep the themes that's up on here, that's loaded on here, that's fine. But I'm gonna shut down here and I'm gonna take this card out and I'm gonna go back to the internet because I want some themes. Now I found this website where ArcOS had themes. As you scroll up, there's different types of resolutions or whatever, or screen sizes, like the 480 by 320, but that's the one I have. That's what I have on this handheld. So if you go down, you see like yes, no's, untested, stuff like that. Gotta figure out which one you want that actually works. So I'm gonna use this solo right here, and I'm just push code and download zip. And yep, unzip. And I'm gonna unzip it into its own file. Then now you got to go back to your SD card and just look for themes. And remember all your other ones. You're just gonna add those new themes to it. Not the zip files, just the unzip ones that's in their own files. And just add to it. They do that. There we go. And look, and now I need box art. So what I use this program right here, Scraper. And yeah, Screen Scraper. And there's an app for that. And there's tutorials out there how to set that up. I'm not going to go through that, but that's what I have. I have my own little setup thing. Now I have my games. And so I wanted to show you that I installed the themes. So we're going to go down to UI settings, themes. Look at, I got more themes. I didn't get that many, but I just want to show you a couple of them that I just thought that works out. I was like, oh, okay. Not too shabby, but really, it looks really good on this screen though. Just simple. And and I wanted to keep it simple. I think that was the only complicated one, but I like this retro and this one I really love. And look at my box art. The box art is really, really nice. I love it. And it just feel like she had like I wanted to make it feel like you're like at a video store, a game store, like renting movies or games. And even though when you go like even retail, like back in the day, like going to Kmart or something like that and seeing these Game Boy games or KB toy stores and see like Game Gear games. I love that. I love the big box art. Now Neo Geo, yeah, it was just hard for me to get one. I ain't gonna lie to you about that one. But Neo Geo Pocket was one of those that's really, really amazing. I love this thing. This is just so cool, and just holding on to it, like when you want to show it off, it just like it has that, just like I said, it has that BlackBerry feel for me. And look at it, and I was able to mess around and just and really just make it just make my own. And when you make it your own, it's ice for real. When you have a what I'm saying, you be able to do things like this and to make it comfortable for you, that is awesome. Yeah, I hope you guys are able to get one, and if you guys do, if you already got one, let me know what ideas you come up with. Let others know what ideas you came up with, so that way we can all help each other. We can just have some fun, just coming up with more ideas together. If there's new new back ends or something like that, or anything like that, or is there another place for themes? Let us know that. And with that being said, I'm gonna be out, yo. I love it. All right, you guys. And if you made it this far, I truly, truly appreciate it. And from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.